So we have one more speech. And this is a speech from a young man who actually spoke at the last Sharing Hope event, but he has grown so much in the last year. He said, "Peter, I have to share how I've grown. I can't not share the new hope I found in Jesus." So let's welcome Connor Masalo up, and he's going to give us our last speech.
Hi, my name is Connor, and I'm currently a senior at Eagle Point High School. Some of you might remember me from last year's event where I briefly talked. That person who talked last year is dead. I can confidently say I'm 100% a different person from then. I was asked to come and talk at this event about how campus has grown my relationship with Jesus and how I have found hope through Jesus, which I fully intend to do. But I'm also going to talk about the family that Rob and Peter have put together here and how much that family has helped me. While I was growing up, I was never taught about the Bible or anything related to Jesus. I had my Bible with my name engraved in it, and that was about it. I came here thinking everyone was crazy for having hope in Jesus. But all of my friends came, so I kept coming so I could hang out with them. Slowly, talk after talk from Rob, I started to see that having faith in Jesus wasn't so crazy after all. After I gave my life to Christ at my first summer camp, it felt like it was already next summer. The year went by so fast, and I was looking forward to helping out at middle school camp. It was definitely a crazy experience, to say the least. But something happened while we were doing baptisms. I just knew that I needed to get baptized, but not there. I needed to do it where I first gave my life to Christ. High school camp finally came around, but it seemed like it took years because every day that urge got stronger and stronger. Rob wasn't even at camp for half of it for Connor Gwen's wedding, and I was scared that he wouldn't get back in time to be able to baptize me. Thankfully, he was able to make it back in time. The weather every day before we did baptisms was cloudy and rainy, but the day we did it was beautiful out. I remember when I walked out into the raw water and took Rob's hands. I felt like nothing could hurt me in that moment. I never learned how to swim, so going underwater scares me. But when I went under that water, it felt like I had a shield of protection, and I wasn't even nervous. It was by far the best moment I have ever felt. The first thing I did after coming out of that water was just give Rob a huge hug and told him thank you for everything and that I love him. It was by far the best thing that's happened in my life, and I haven't been that happy since. A few months had passed and it was January, and it was Rob's last camp as the Eagle Point coordinator. And it was Peter's first camp with us. I think we did a good job at showing Peter what he would be dealing with. That camp was definitely my second favorite one looking back on it, only to be beat by the camp I got baptized at. Rob said something at that winter camp I would never forget though, and I still think about it every day. He was talking about how it was his last camp and was starting to make all of the Eagle Point kids cry. But what really got me was when he said, "It doesn't get better than this." I couldn't have agreed more with him in that moment. It doesn't get better than that in this life. Every day I wish I could go back to that day and do it all again. Or just be at camp again. Because I've never felt that kind of happiness I feel at camp anywhere else. When he said that, I realized Rob had brought a group of kids together. A group of outcasts and nobodies, and made them a family. A family that could never be torn apart no matter what happens. A family that will always have each other's backs. A family that will never leave one another behind. A family that will always be there to pick each other up when we fall. a family that he knows he can leave and knows that they will be okay and keep going and trying to make ourselves better and push each other to be better. A family that will come together if we need to, no matter where we are on this earth. Peter brought us someone who needed cared for him, and we did just that for him. Now, if you told me that person Peter brought us at winter camp is the same person he is now, I wouldn't believe you. Later at winter camp, I talked about how campus has made me realize that I'm not alone, and that no matter what, I will have these people here for me. And that statement has never been more true for me. Just over 2 months ago, I got out of an unhealthy relationship that was destroying my mental state, and I was almost never happy anymore in that relationship. I have been sad in the past, but this was a different kind of sadness, and it hurt way more than any other kind of sadness I've ever tried to deal with in my past. It put me in a new level of depression I had never felt before. Each day it kept getting worse and worse. On July 4th, I was planning on taking my own life. But the family Rob put together wouldn't let me. 2 of them sat outside of my house for almost 30 minutes. They would not stop calling me until I finally gave in and went with them. That night turned out to be one of the best nights I've ever had. My friends were here for me so much in the past 2 months. The one that's helped me the most, I would have probably never became friends with if it weren't for this place. When I tell you that Sarah Nielsen has saved my life multiple times, I completely mean it. She has spent so many hours of her time being a listening ear. She's let me cry in her car and just lose myself, and every time she's waited for me to be okay. Every single time I would think it might be my fault and I deserve what I'm getting or talk bad about myself, she would cut me off and start listing why I didn't deserve this and why it's not my fault. She would remind me of my worth every single time, even though I might not believe her. Hearing it makes it a little easier each time and does help remind me of my worth and who I am. She never gave up on me during all of this. No one in this family has. Even though I had given up on myself and had no desire to carry on, they have helped me be able to stand up and keep me standing through all of this. They have helped pull me out of this hole I was in. I was so low in my faith after that happened, but they helped bring me back to where I was before and even deeper in my faith. I owe them everything for making me who I am today. I can't thank Rob enough for not giving up on me when I first started coming here, and I can't thank him enough for building this family. I can't thank anyone enough in this family for helping me out this much and always being there for me. And Peter, you're like the big brother I've always wanted but never had. So when I tell you guys that not only you are bringing and leading kids to Jesus, you are also saving their lives. If it weren't for this place, I honestly don't know where I would be. I don't know if I would even be alive without Rob, Peter, and all of my friends. And I thank every single one of you from the bottom of my heart, and I can't thank you guys enough for helping keeping this place running. One last thing as well. I've always wanted to be half the man that Rob is, and I've wanted to do what he has done in my life for others. So that's why I've decided to follow in his footsteps. I'm going to be pursuing a career in ministry and trying to help others and bring them to God like Rob has done for me, and try and save kids' lives like Rob saved mine.